good habit, it's going to take a few months, right? And the same goes with our spiritual habits. It's something I talk all the time about. I met up with my best friend yesterday. We haven't seen each other since Noah was born. We just had a lot to talk about. And, I encouraged him to really ensure, and I encourage all the people that I speak to that are children of God, set up spiritual habits. Set up spiritual habits. And why is that so important? In all the things that I'm going through, all the things that he's going through, it's your spiritual habits that allows you to continue with your intimacy in Christ, right? So some of you, when you face difficulties, when you face struggles, you may think, oh, God's not with me, or it's hard to pray. And I used to go through that a lot. I used to go through that all the time when things weren't going my way or I had some difficulty. I would feel spiritually very down. But now that I have more spiritual habits in place every single day, the beauty of that is even when Satan tries to attack me, the beauty of that is even when problems come my way, because I have these spiritual habits, because I have this spiritual intimacy with Christ, I'm able to combat that, right? And I'm able to continue my relationship with Christ in a very powerful and in a very meaningful way. One of the biggest things is, can you click on the PowerPoint so that I could, thank you. Okay, so one of the biggest things is, and this is something I've learned more and more, right? We are all born as sinful people. This is the reality of us as human beings. I truly believe that some people are more sinful than others. Some people are less sinful than others. But all of us are sinful. We are all sinful. We have all fallen short of the glory of God, right? We have all fallen short. And I truly believe that is our birthright. So in verse 17, it says, I tell you this, you must no longer live as the Gentiles do in the futility of their thinking. When you have heard about Christ and you were taught in him in accordance with the truth that is in Jesus, right? So we are all born as sinful people. There's no way around that. And you can see that even at a very, very, very young age, right? If you look at newborns or if you look at infants or toddlers, they're very, very selfish. And you may think that, they're toddlers and that's why they're selfish. But look at adults. As the toddlers become adolescents, young adults, older adults. Look at your life. Look at the adults around you. We're inherently sinful and we're inherently selfish, right? In John 8:44, it says, you are of the father your devil. This is how we were born. Your will is to do your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. So all of us are born into identity and into a birthright of sin. And one thing I actually spoke to my mom the other day. She was telling me a story about something someone said and how harmful it was or how hurtful it was. And one of the things I said to her was, there's very few things that surprise me anymore, right, about people. Because I truly have learned, and I think I've learned that actually the most not in church, but actually as a manager. As a manager, as a company owner, you are exposed to some really terrible things people do. In the last week alone, and these are real stories, this week alone, we had to fire someone because they were falsifying, they were forging documents. So there's basically someone in our company who is a provider, right? I'm in healthcare. And someone else in our company forged a document. So they forged the document. They used this person's name, signature, license number. They forged the document. So we had to fire this person. That's just this week, right? I talked to another friend this week who their family is really, really struggling. And why are they struggling? Because one of the brothers in the family cheated on his wife, right? Cheated on his wife, and so their family's falling apart. They have 2 young kids, and they're getting a divorce. That's just this week. That's just this week. I have those 2 examples, both in my personal life, in my friendship life, and in my career life. And so when you know that this is our birthright, right, that we are born of sin, we are born of the father, the devil, those things don't surprise me anymore, unfortunately. I have numerous stories. I could talk for hours and hours on the people that I've had to fire